Lesson 4, the basic stitches. Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to make some stitches. What I've got here is a foundation chain with single crochet worked across. At the end of my row, I'm going to need what is called a turning chain. It gives us room to turn the work. So what I'm going to do is chain 1. I grab the yarn and pull it through, and then I turn. Some directions, some patterns are going to tell you to turn and then chain. Some may say chain and then turn. It really doesn't matter. So I have a chain 1 and I'm going to start working some single crochet stitches back along here. Let me get right up close. So you can see these are the 2 loops. I can work through both loops. I can insert my hook through just the front or just the back, okay? All those different ways will create a different effect. So if a pattern doesn't specify, it means to do through both, okay? So let me show you the stitches here and talk about the stitches. So we know that each of these loops is a stitch, each pair of loops, okay? That's how we count our stitches across. So we're gonna insert our hook under both loops, grab our yarn and pull up, and then pull through 2. That is a single crochet. We insert our hook, pull up a loop, and pull through the 2 on our hook. Okay, now let's go on and do some taller stitches. Next we have a half double crochet. So to do a half double crochet, we wrap the yarn around the hook first, then we insert it, then we pull up our loop. Now we have 3 on our hook, and we're gonna pull through all 3. Okay, half double crochet HDC is kind of a cool stitch. Again, wrap around, insert our hook, pull up, and pull through all 3. It's cool because on the back, you're going to notice it's going to create a ridge. Let me do a few more of the stitches and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now, when you get into more advanced techniques, that ridge can be used for different things such as surface crochet, where you're actually crocheting on the top. You can, from rows above, you can actually loop down and grab that ridge. You can't tell so well right now. You can see it better when you're doing many different rows and on subsequent rows, but you've got a ridge of loops right there. So that's the half double crochet. It's just a little bit taller than a single crochet. And I'm going to go... So I'm just going to go across and finish up with the half double crochet. Now at the end of the row, I'm not going to work. Remember that beginning turning chain that we did when we were working back along our foundation chain? We skipped that chain 1. That does not count as a stitch. Okay, this is where it gets confusing. A big problem that beginners have is they either add stitches or subtract stitches at the end of each row when they turn. Okay, so I'm not going to work into this first chain that we had skipped originally, if that makes sense. What I'm going to do now is I finished up with some half double crochet. I'm going to do, just to show you, a row of double crochet next. When I do a row of double crochet, I'm going to grab the yarn and chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. Now I'm going to turn. Okay. With double crochet, you can chain 2 or chain 3. Okay, it depends kind of on the length of your chains because you don't want any gaps or anything. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Some patterns, this chain 3 will count as a stitch. So we're going to kind of line it up with this first stitch here. So that would count as a stitch. And then we're going to start here. Okay? Some patterns, this chain 3 does not count. And sometimes we'll even make it a chain 2 that does not count. Okay? So it gets really confusing. When you're working in single crochet, the chain 1 never really counts as a stitch. So let's say the directions say chain 3 counts as first DC. So it would count as our first stitch. We line that up. Now we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. To do a double crochet, we wrap the yarn around the hook, insert the hook into the stitch, pull it up. Now we have 3, pull through 2, pull through 2. You can see it is a tall stitch. Okay. Now we're going to do it again. Wrap around, insert into the next stitch, pull up, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, we have a chain 3 that counts as a double crochet stitch with 2 double crochets. So when we work our double crochets across, you're going to see the difference in the stitches. Okay, you're going to see how they are. The double crochet is looser. Here's the half double crochet with the ridge, and then the single crochet. So when we come back along here, since this did count as a stitch, we are going to work our stitch in the top of it, okay, in the top of that chain 3. So just be careful to count your stitches and follow the pattern correctly. And what you can do is you can count your stitches at the end of each row to make sure you're not, you know, working into turning chains when you shouldn't be, and making sure that you are when you should be. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's turn the work. We're going to do a row of single, or let's do some triple crochet. To turn with triple crochet or treble crochet, I've seen it called both names. We're going to do 3 or 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, typically 4. I actually do 1 less because I find that this is kind of a big gap. So for double, I do a little bit less. So you can play around. Triple or treble crochet, this first chain almost always counts as a stitch. I'd probably say it always does every time I've seen it. So that is your first treble stitch. We line it up here. Okay, so we're going to start in this next one. For a treble, we wrap around twice, insert our hook, pull it up, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, so the treble is even taller. I'll show it again. We wrap twice, insert our hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, 3 pull throughs. Okay, you can see it's much looser. And there you have the basic stitches. So most crochet patterns are going to be just a combination of the basic stitches. Since I'm here, let me show you a couple more things which are fun to learn, which I don't have in the written part, but they're a little bit more advanced techniques. So if you're looking through a book and it says to work around the post, you can work actually a treble or a double or even a single around a post. This is the stitch from the previous row. If you want to work a treble around the post, simply instead of inserting your hook into the stitch here, you could go behind that post, behind that stitch, pull through, pull through, pull through, pull through. Okay, that is a treble crochet worked around the post. Okay, if you want to work around the other side of the post, simply insert your hook like so. It's around the back of the post, and then pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Okay, so there's a front post and a back post, treble crochet. You can create lots of effects working around the post. Just kind of play around with it, and there's tons of patterns out there that use that. Let's see, is there anything else we can talk about? And we talked about going through the front loop only, the back loop only, or both loops, and then also around the post. So pretty much those are the basic stitches. On to lesson 5.